Okay, yeah, about this greatest stuff. Right now, they're talking about who's the greatest in the NBA. Every second, they're giving it to LeBron. If you say something bad about LeBron, you're a LeBron hater. I understand. LeBron's doing everything great. He's breaking records. He's doing it right before our eyes. He's living a legacy. There's no denying his greatness. But just label him the greatest of all time, just to say he's better than this and everybody, and only compare him to Michael Jordan is crazy. You know, it's like, why are they just comparing LeBron with Jordan? That's it. I mean, Kareem's got the most points, so why ain't he in the conversation all the time? Bill Russell's got the most rings, more than Jordan and LeBron put together, and Bill Russell's not in it. So when you see greatest, maybe they just mean, maybe they should label this every time when they talk about great talks. Maybe they should just say, who looks the best? Out of everybody you know in the NBA, who looks the most athletics and who's been sponsored by Nike and had the most commercials and highlights ever that we saw, and who looked the best? It's got to be between LeBron and Jordan. Nobody else has had that many commercials and advertisements and hypeness and movies and being with Michael Jackson or being with whoever in a movie or a video or all these labels and sponsors. Nobody's had more than Michael and LeBron. They were the most marketable. But what about the people who paved the way? There was people just like them before their time, but then they got no footage. Elgin Baylor scored about, 70, 81, could score like LeBron or Jordan or do this and do whatever. Was a real great scorer, but he don't got no highlights to show it. And it's like, if we had Sports Center in his time, and it was in color, man, we might be saying Elgin Baylor first, then LeBron, then Jordan, according to what I read on him. So it's like, take the time and study all the old greats before you say who's the greatest and all that. People are just going with the time, and if you're negative to it or you don't agree with them, then you're hating or whatever like that. I'm not hating. I'm just keeping it real. Before I give that torch to somebody, don't forget all the other greats. It's not fair to them. You know, everybody, instead of they might only watch basketball the past 10 years. You know, I might have been watching basketball the past 20. So it's like, I don't know about a lot of the players in the 50s and the 60s. I know a little bit about the 70s, and I love the 80s and some of the 90s era. I mean, I'm biased to the 80s Lakers. That was the best basketball that I saw. But it's like, let me get back to that thing about the greatest today. They just say, in today's time, LeBron and Durant is slowly passing him. First of all, they're two great players. They can score at will. They're taller than everybody. They're quick with their moves. They got a great touch. They do a lot of great things. But think about it. They're both on stacked teams. That's like you go to the park and you got your 5 and I got my 5, or you got your 4, whatever. Now all of a sudden you pick a dude that's 6'5" and tell him to play with you. You're probably going to win. You know, that's how it is. You know what I mean? A guy that got little fundamentals, tall, you know. So it's like, it's a little bias in a way. It's like between Durant and LeBron, they went to like stacked teams to do the thing. If they were so great, both of them, why didn't they go to the last place teams in the league and then win a championship with that team? They must not be that great. The older players, they would just get signed to a team that was bad and help rejuvenate that team. You know what I mean? Like, Sixers were needed that one guy, and they got Moses. Or Sixers in the 70s, they were all right, and they got Doc to make them try to win, and it helped them. So that's what greatness kind of is. Like, you know, it's got to be explored more. It's like, be specific with what you mean great. You know what I mean? Like, if I could flip a quarter in the air and it's flipped to 10 feet, the next guy could flip it to 20 feet, but he made it spin a little bit. I don't know. It's like you got to say what's great, be more specific about it. And it's like, so let me say the greatest, well, the MVP, I want to say the MVP race right now. The MVP race right now should be Kyrie Irving. Best record. He went to a whole nother team. He don't got a stacked team. He kind of would have had a stacked team, but his best player got injured on the first play trying to dunk against the so-called greatest player of our time today. So he did that without Hayward and still got the best record. If LeBron or KG's so great, why don't they have the best record? Well, at least not that the Cavaliers don't have the best record. Now, DeMar Rosen, he's like second place in the East right now. And who's his help? Little Kyle Lowry and a couple of guys we don't even know or heard of. That's amazing. That's great to me. You know, and Durant, he's got everybody on that team. You got a team where the starters are all-stars automatically. You know, and they've got experience of winning the championship. So if him or Curry miss a game, it doesn't matter. They're still going to win. LeBron can sit out for 2 months. Their team's still going to make the playoffs. So it's like MVP's got to be Kyrie Irving, DeMar Rosen, and third has to be, who's the other guy? Greek Freak was up there, but he went down. His record went down a little bit, so not him. And the reason I'm not putting Durant or LeBron up there because of their teams is stacked, and they don't have the best records. I mean, they're great players. They're probably the greatest player in the game, but as far as most valuable, you know, you don't need them right there now to make the playoffs with those stacked teams. So third, of course, is going to be my man Harden. Harden's having a great year, and he has a great record with his team. And when he's not in the game or on the bench or hurt, they haven't won as many games. And he's made a lot of great shots, and his point average is up, and assist record is up, great percentage. You know, LeBron, they say he's great for having these percentages better than he ever was, and he's 33. You know, he kept himself healthy. He's the greatest at keeping his body healthy and having a perfect NBA body. You know, but he went out of high school to get these records, and then he's going to get a lot of points, and he's going to pass a lot of people and be third or fourth. You know, he can't let it be known. He came out of high school. So he had extra years to do that. Kareem, who was the #1 scorer, this what makes Kareem even great. He went to college for 4 years. He was so good he could have played since junior high, if that was the case, if they had a rule. You know, but he waited 4 years to play, and he still got the most points. And then you got to think Wilt Chamberlain, he had a chance to put the record way out of reach, he said, but people were saying he scored too much. So he wanted to prove that he could pass. So he went 1 year without trying to score and trying to pass. Now, if he'd have known that people were trying to break his record or even come close, he would have put the scoring record way out of reach. That's a quote from the great Wilt Chamberlain. That's what he would have said. And he'd be talking junk right now on everybody, anybody, and he wouldn't stand still, none of it. And he would just say that he's the greatest. I like that. But, you know, LeBron, keep playing. You're great. Kevin, they all great. You put any amount of NBA players, you had a time machine, and you just grab 4 of the goods that was greats that was in their era and put them on the court today, they would still play great. They're NBA players. Look at that 3-on-3 Ice Cubes League. Any one of those 3 players made a formidable team. They're coached right, they play the game right, the NBA style way, then you got a chance to win. NBA basketball is about playing the right way. So a great is a great. When it's time, when greatness is called for from a great player, he's going to do those great things. Now, yes, LeBron and Durant, they've been doing great things that is unbelievable and keep rising and, you know, but, you know, just enjoy it. I mean, they're getting all the coverage. So it's like, that's all I got to say right now for the greatest, you know. We're going to keep rising. I'm going to keep watching. It's entertainment. I love watching these guys. I don't hate on none of them. But it's just be careful what you say on the greatest. Keep doing your research. You know, hit me back, comment or whatever. Feel free. You know, no fighting or nothing like that. It's just opinion. All right, that's a wrap. Rob G. Peace.